Rapzilla.com.
In college, I was like 19, 20. I had my first child, my son, and it was rough because my mother had sickle cell and she was going through a crisis of her own, like a life-threatening crisis at the time. So of course in the back of my mind I was just like, man, my mom cannot find out that I was about to have a baby in college. And of course, you know, I was in Alabama in school. My mom was in Toronto, Canada. So I was finding every which way to keep it from her. Then eventually, I had to go back home because I think school had ended, and my girlfriend at the time, which is my wife now, you know, she went back to California and gave birth to my son, and I was just like, you know, at the time I denied even having him. I denied that he was mine, and you know, it tore me apart because as a child growing up without a father, I was just like, man, how could I do this to my own? So of course, and then of course with my mother not being well and her finding out about this, I felt like I was definitely gonna put my mom in the grave. So I went back home and you know, I opened the door and greeted my mom at the door. She was like maybe 80 pounds because she lost so much weight, and I thought like literally she was on her last leg. And once she opened the door, she greeted me, gave me a hug, and she already knew because I told her I had something to tell you. And she says, don't worry about it, I already know. She says, you know, I'm about to be a grandmother, and this information is going to give me strength to overcome what I'm going through right now because I want to see my grandkids. And that in itself was its own blessing because what I felt was bad or for bad, God used for good to heal my mom and bring her 60 plus years of life, you know. And then of course I married my girlfriend, which is my wife, Ebony, and I have 3 more children now. So, you know, again, whatever the devil meant for bad at that time in my life, God meant for good and brought me to this point now, to being a father of 4 and just an advocate and supporter of just being a great dad.